Get latest oval Chpters on NV, E, LBJ and CM. So what if it's Han Huang? The eternal peak might not have been his during the chaotic assembly if not for the supreme rules being attacked. Huang Zuantian snorted. He was very depressed as he thought of this. The other leaders supported him. That's right. What's there to be afraid of? Even if Han Huang is the son of the Divine Might Heavenly Sage, it's fine as long as we don't harm his life. The Divine Might Heavenly Sage transcends the rules and has countless children. Look at Han Tua. How many times has he been between life and death? I've never seen the Divine Might Heavenly Sage make a move. Although Han Huang is strong, he's all alone. That's right. There are so many experts in life. We can crush him with numbers no matter how strong Han Huang is. Ha ha ha. I'll first send disciples to the Northern Chaos to investigate its foundation. It's said that the origins of that Northern Chaos Holy Lord are mysterious, but he has remarkable abilities. He once fought dozens of great Tao sages alone and easily won. Huang Zuantian smiled at the leader's words. The chaos would fall into his hands sooner or later with so many mighty figures. Huang Zuantian said, although the Divine Might Heavenly Sage rarely appears, we have to give him face. We can attack Han Huang, but we have to leave him a way out. Although we are strong, we are only in the chaos, and the Divine Might Heavenly Sage is above the chaos. The leaders nodded. Actually, they knew what Han Huang represented even without Huang Zuantian saying it. That was also why the Northern Chaos Holy Lord tried his best to rope Han Huang in. Ancestor Shi Tian said, recently, the Heavenly Court's momentum cannot be underestimated. That Han Yao is very strong. Think of a way to rope him in. Shi Dudao chuckled. I'll do this. I want to see how strong the recently rising war god of the Heavenly Court is. The other leaders laughed, but no one fought with him. Although Han Yao was strong, he was not in their eyes for the time being. Heavenly Court, Numinous Palace. Tao Sovereign and the other three stood in the hall smiling at the evil Heavenly Emperor. Beside them stood several war gods and literature immortals, including Han Yao. Han Yi and Han Yao stared at each other, not convinced. Smiling, the evil Heavenly Emperor said, it's so difficult in the chaos now. Why don't you stay in the Heavenly Court for the time being? The Heavenly Peach Banquet is almost upon us. Loudon smiled. All right. How can I miss such a beautiful thing? He gave Zhao Shenyuan a look. The latter understood and agreed. Tao Sovereign frowned, but he couldn't refute. Jiang Yi heaved a sigh of relief. Han Yi said unhappily, what's so good about the Heavenly Peach Banquet? I don't like Han Yao. We should leave. Han Yao cursed. Are you asking for another beating? Hee hee, defeated opponent. Have you lost to me less often? Cut the crap. Let's go out and fight again. Han Yao snorted. He's not worthy. Han Yi looked at the evil Heavenly Emperor and asked, Your Majesty, when will my ancestor Han Huang return? Han Yao mocked. You think you can fight with ancestor Han Huang? The evil Heavenly Emperor could also see through Han Ye's background, so he especially liked his willfulness. He even doted on him more than Han Yao. Every time Han Yi came, he would warmly pull him along. Tao Sovereign said, All right. Han Yi, you have to give His Majesty face in the Heavenly Court. His Majesty is the benefactor of your Han family's progenitor. Han Yi wanted to flare up, but he had no choice but to endure when he heard this. At this moment, evil Heavenly Emperor, I am Shi Dudao of life. Today, I specially came to challenge you. Send out the strongest war god under you. Otherwise, I will flatten the numinous palace. An extremely arrogant laugh came from outside the hall. It was like a thunderclap that shook the world. The evil Heavenly Emperor frowned. Han Yao shouted angrily, how dare a nobody provoke the heavenly court? He immediately transformed into a golden rainbow and went out. Tao Sovereign smiled. Life has targeted the heavenly court. His Majesty can be lively. Again. The evil heavenly emperor shook his head. I'm afraid they're not targeting the heavenly court. He looked outside the hall. Shidu Dao. It was really a meeting of old friends. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, 5 million years passed. The second chaotic assembly was about to begin. Hanju didn't plan to go this time. He let the ultimate god of punishment do it alone. Hanju opened his eyes. He was already close to breaking through. He would definitely be able to break through to the mid-stage Dao creator realm in another million years. Hanju checked the emails. The content was extremely exciting. The attacks were endless. Li Daokong, Huang Zuantian, Ancestor Shi Tian, and others were all severely injured by Han Huang. It was worth mentioning that the reincarnated 8th Chaos, Zhao Shuangquan, was abnormally active. He defeated even the Universe Sage King. 50 million years of cultivation had already allowed him to attain the Great Tao Supreme Realm and reach the top echelon of the Chaos. The 9-headed Divine Spirit had just tempered his divine body not long ago. He was preaching everywhere and recruiting troops. How lively! Hanju smiled, especially since Han Huang's performance didn't disappoint him. How could the primordial fiend Celestial not be invincible with its increasing providence? Hanju looked at the chaos and discovered that Han Huang's momentum was extremely prosperous. He defeated the entire life faction alone and shocked the chaos. The primordial fiend Celestial began to land on his head. Hanju sent a dream to Huang Zuantian after reading the emails. In the dream, Huang Zuantian asked him if he wanted an opportunity as usual. After confirming his identity, he let down his guard. Master, are you here about me and Han Huang? Huang Zuantian asked awkwardly and sighed. Hanju said, I'm here for you. How are you? Huang Zuantian was touched. The life faction has already stopped expanding and is resting. I'm also cultivating and want to create the Great Tao world. He continued after hesitating for a moment. Primordial Origin told me that 2 Great Tao worlds that are not inferior to the Chaos are approaching. They want to collide with the Chaos and create an unprecedented era. Is this true? Primordial Origin? TSK, Panga's last opponent among the 3,000 Fiend Celestials formed by the Primordial Chaos Fiend Celestial, could actually spy on the Great Tao world? Are the 2 Great Tao worlds, Immeasurable Destruction Venerable Shurtian and the most mysterious Tao creator, about to attack? That's not right. Doesn't the Immeasurable Destruction Venerable Shurtian want to personally destroy the Chaos? Hanju hesitated. Regardless of whether it's true or not, raising my cultivation level is the most important. The Chaos won't die yet, Hanju said softly and calmly. Huang Zuantian thought of many things. 50 million years ago, the mysterious existence of the consciousnessless Great Tao world attacked the Chaos and was quickly suppressed. How many unimaginable transcendent existences were hidden above the Chaos? ESWER. Hanju and Huang Zuantian chatted for a while before removing the dream. Hanju said, Linger, I gave Han Bahen the authority to enter the simulation trial, but you have to teach him. Han Ling opened her eyes and immediately went to do it. The chaotic assembly was in another 200,000 years. It was estimated that one of the missions would be to eliminate devils. Hanju created a clone. He would bring his Tao companion and disciples to the chaotic assembly when the time came. His main body would continue cultivating. He entered seclusion again after doing all of this. On the other side, Han Bahen began to spar with Han Ling in the simulation trial. Han Ling deliberately sparred with him first. Han Ba-hen was very excited. He could finally fight after cultivating for so long. He also wanted to test ancestor Han Ling's strength. Then, Han Ba-hen woke up and fearfully looked at Han Ling. Han Ling smiled and said, "Compared to me, you're still far inferior. However, you can spar with others. The simulation trial contains all living beings. You can choose anyone to spar with, regardless of realm." He was looking for a great Dao sage. He had no intention of torturing anyone below the great Dao sage realm. Soon, he was immersed. Several days later, he established absolute confidence. The reason ancestor Han Ling could defeat him was definitely that her cultivation realm was far superior to his. He was invincible among those of the same realm. He suddenly had a bold thought. How strong was the progenitor, Hanju? He immediately chose to challenge him. At the bottom of the chaos, 10 Absolute City. 10 Absolute City became lively again due to the second chaotic assembly's arrival. Continuous booms rang outside the city as the mighty figures fought the evil devils. For millions of years, the bottom of the chaos had been filled with mysterious evil devils. These evil devils were extremely strong and liked to destroy and kill. Many geniuses and mighty figures had fallen under their claws. Hanju's clone brought his trusted aides over. As usual, the disciples of the hidden sect and the heavenly Dao gathered together. Dao Sovereign and the other three also came. Many people had not seen each other for tens of millions of years and were exchanging pleasantries and asking about the past. The atmosphere was lively. Although the disciples of the hidden sect had always been on their own, their relationship had not been sorted out because of the myriad worlds projection. They would only stop when necessary and never kill even if there were conflicts. Of course, the main reason they could be harmonious was that Hanju could suppress them. Han Qing'er asked after looking around, "Where's my second brother?" Yi Tian smiled. "Your second brother is not interested in this assembly. He's already at the eternal peak and can't participate anymore. He's currently in the south of the chaos preparing to challenge an ancient ferocious beast. That ferocious beast has existed since the birth of the chaos and contains the power to destroy space and time. It's hidden between the past and the future, not the present." Han Qing'er curled her lips, not understanding why her second brother was so warlike. Her gaze landed on Han Yao and Han Yi. At this moment, the two of them surrounded Han Yunjin and met their ancestor. Although many geniuses appeared in the Han family, very few were qualified to participate in the chaotic assembly. Han Yunjin and Han Yu had brought a few people, but they were not great Dao sages. Most of them had not even reached the Freedom Realm. But Han Yao and Han Yu were true great Dao sages. At this moment, Han Ling walked over with Han Ba-hen following behind him. Han Ba-hen was majestic like a human-shaped ferocious beast, attracting everyone's attention. Han Yunjin was moved when he saw him. This was his bloodline. Han Ling immediately introduced him to everyone. The personal disciples surrounded him. The children who could cultivate beside Hanju must have very strong potential. Han Yao and Han Yi frowned when they saw Han Ba-hen. On the other side, Hanju's clone was discussing the details of this chaotic assembly with the ultimate god of punishment. This chaotic assembly would be even smoother without the schemes of the number one deity of the consciousnessless Great Tao world. Blank domain. The Holy Mother of Order and Han Huang stood side by side. The Holy Mother of Order was majestic. Han Huang looked tiny as he stood beside her, but his aura was stronger. The two divine spirits looked in the same direction. Following their gaze, a black dot appeared in the depths of the blank domain and slowly expanded. It was a great Tao world that was not inferior to the vastness of the chaos. The Holy Mother of Order said, "Do you see? This will be the prelude to the endless era. The two great Tao worlds will collide and fuse. The two giants and geniuses will fight. Those ambitious people will fight for benefits and will also begin the great Tao immeasurable calamity. Han Huang snorted. So be it. I'll represent the chaos to resist all intruders. The Holy Mother of Order smiled. This great Tao world's owner is called Shutian. His great Tao world has existed the longest after the chaos. Is that the strongest great Tao world? No, a stronger great Tao world is on the way. It will appear in a few 100 million years. Holy Mother, why do I feel that you know more than the ultimate god of punishment? What kind of existence are you? Although the Holy Mother of Order was not as powerful as him, she always exuded an unfathomable aura. The Holy Mother of Order smiled. I'm the Order of the Chaos. Han Huang, I believe that you are the primordial fiend celestial. You'll definitely create the primordial chaos, but you better wait until the endless era arrives. Otherwise, the primordial chaos power will devour the chaos, just like how the chaos replaced the primordial chaos. It will endanger all living beings in the chaos and the heavenly Tao. Han Huang was silent. At this moment, Han Huang frowned and asked, "What is this?" "He's declaring war on you. Either you die and he gets your power of creation, or he dies and you get his power of creation." The corners of the Holy Mother of Order's mouth curled up as she faced Han Huang's confidence. She didn't say anything else. The two divine spirits continued to watch and left after a long time. Get latest Oval Chpters on NV, LBJN. CM. The news of Shutian's arrival spread after the chaotic assembly ended. The second chaotic assembly was extremely exciting. The one who obtained the eternal peak was the heavenly Dao's Zhao Shuangquan. The 10 absolute geniuses were Huang Zuntian, Dao Sovereign, Han Tua, Formless World, Central Regions Han Emperor, Defying Divine Dao, Yi Tian, Han Yi, and Han Yao. Several of the previous 10 absolutes did not participate, such as Jiang Jueshi, Murongqi, the heavenly constellation Fiend Celestial, and so on. Many new faces also appeared among the 100 sovereigns, 1,000 lords, and 10,000 strong. Time passed quickly. Hanju's clone brought his personal disciples back, while his main body was still cultivating. A million years after the chaotic assembly ended, Hanju finally broke through. Mid-stage Tao Creator. Creation dermic powers began to erupt majestically. The ultimate origin world also expanded and countless stars were born. The ultimate origin world would soon reach the scale of the chaos at this speed. Hanju checked his attributes panel as he consolidated his cultivation. Name, Hanju. Lifespan, 6999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999,999, 999,999,999,999. Race, ultimate origin fiend celestial, immeasurable emperor. Cultivation, mid-stage Tao creator, perfect sage. Technique, primordial chaos reincarnation great Tao, heavenly cycle body tempering technique. Great Tao of life and death, great Tao of karma, great Tao of extreme origin, constitution, extreme Tao ultimate origin body. As expected of a Tao creator, this breakthrough directly increased his lifespan by 8 digits. Amazing! Hanju was happy and continued to consolidate his cultivation. 500,000 years later, Hanju frowned. The more he cultivated, the stronger this power became. No wonder the chaos could no longer expand. Could it be that this power came from the blank domain and imprisoned the development of the chaos? If that was the case, Hanju could only stop cultivating. Otherwise, the ultimate origin world would jump out and squeeze the chaos. This would definitely anger the ninth chaos. There was another way, which was to place the ultimate origin world in the blank domain. However, doing so would also expose the ultimate origin world. He had no choice. Hanju couldn't stop cultivating, so he could only head to the blank domain. With that thought, he created a clone and headed to the blank domain. He first made the clone spread the transcendent rule of the ultimate origin world and divided it into countless parts, leaving more paths of survival for himself. Hanju traveled the blank domain as he spread the transcendent rule. Great Tao Supreme experts didn't dare to enter the blank domain because they would lose their way. However, a Tao creator was different. Even if he couldn't spy on the entire blank domain, finding the chaos was still as easy as flipping his palm. The blank domain was as lonely and cold as ever. Even great Tao sages couldn't enter this place. The blank domain was naturally lonely. Hanju was suddenly curious. I want to know if the blank domain will give birth to living beings? 1 quadrillion years of lifespan will be deducted. Do you want to continue? The value of a Tao creator. Continue. Not for the time being. Not for the time being. Then, there was a possibility in the future. Hanju clicked his tongue in wonder. Another period of time passed. He saw a great Tao world floating towards the chaos. It was very fast, but it still required hundreds of millions of years to reach the distance to the chaos. His divine sense swept into the great Tao world. Hanju was surprised. The number of living beings in this great Tao world was far inferior to the chaos, but the cultivation of the mighty figures was very strong. There were actually no fewer living beings above the zenith heaven realm than below. The number of freedom sages and great Tao supremes even exceeded the chaos. However, the great Tao sages were inferior to their numbers in the chaos because the chaos had been rising for the past 50 million years. There was no nine-headed divine spirit deliberately suppressing them. He noticed Shurtian when he first left the chaos. Now, he saw another great Tao world. Were these the two great Tao worlds that Primordial Origin had mentioned? Primordial Origin was powerful? Could he spy so far from the chaos? Or was there someone behind him? Hanju asked in his mind, I want to know who created this great Tao world. 5 quadrillion years of lifespan will be deducted. Do you want to continue? So high? It was even stronger than immeasurable destruction Venerable Shurtian. Continue. A message appeared in front of him. Yin Yang Purity Nirvana Deity, Mid-Stage Tao Creator, Chaotic Deity, Blank Guardian, Ancestor of Terror, transcends the chaos and exists in eternal space-time. Amazing! Hanju currently knew of 5 Tao creators. From strong to weak, they were the 9th chaos, the Yin-Yang Purity Nirvana Deity, Immeasurable Destruction Venerable Shurtian, the Formless Transcendent Deity, and the Chaotic Consciousness. The weaker they were, the more they liked to stay in the chaos because they had nothing to do. For example, the Yin-Yang Purity Nirvana Deity and Immeasurable Destruction Venerable Shurtian were busy cultivating and had no time to interfere in the chaos. Hanju sighed and continued to leave the chaos. He wanted to leave and find a place to release the ultimate origin world. Hanju's main body opened his eyes as his clone swam in the blank domain. He began the simulation trial to test his strength. He challenged 1,000 formless transcendent deities. Hanju went all out and easily won. Then, he increased the number to 10. 1000. Fight 10,000 formless transcendent deities. After one simulation trial after another, Hanju could only fight 20,000 formless transcendent deities in the end. This was already very strong. At least, Han Ju was satisfied. The Tao creator was very strong. Hanju looked at Hanling. Hanling's emperor soldiers were very strong before the Tao creator realm, but it was unknown if they could continue to show their might after reaching the Tao creator realm. It was not difficult for a Tao creator to split into countless cultivation clones like him to fight. What was difficult was the Tao creator's creation. For example, Hanju. It was not difficult for him to create countless clones, but it was impossible for all his clones to use the ultimate origin soul oblivion. The two formless transcendent deities Hanju challenged could both use their mystical powers. According to what he knew, Hanling's emperor soldiers could at most gather in array formations. Of course, perhaps Hanling's emperor soldiers would transform after she really became a Tao creator. After ending the simulation trial, Hanju prepared to continue cultivating when he suddenly saw a huge battle at the edge of the chaos. One of them was Han Huang. The one fighting him was not a chaotic life form. His aura should be from Shetian. They were both great Tao Supremes and the battle pressure was very strong. The entire chaos would probably be affected if not for the great Tao divine spirits protecting space and time. Contact. Shetian's mighty figure was the first to attack. He wanted to show his mystical power, but he was stopped by Han Huang. Hanju felt bored after watching for a while. Small fights. At the same time, more and more mighty figures in the chaos rushed to the battlefield. Han Huang appeared very strong and was deliberately did not kill the other party to increase the chaos prestige. The great Tao divine spirits clapped in joy. Han Huang stood proudly in the dilapidated void. Primordial chi wrapped around his body like a hurricane that stirred the river of time. With the domineering power to destroy space and time, he looked down at a mighty figure in a sorry state. Divine might, great heaven palm. The domineering palm force directly sent the black-armored mighty figure out of the chaos. The mighty figures watching the battle cheered. Then, they flew in front of Han Huang and began to praise him. However, a mighty figure suddenly said something inappropriate. Han Huang, Shetian isn't here yet, but you're already so strong. You'll definitely anger Shetian. Why do this? Han Huang glanced at him, and the other mighty figures quietened down. The atmosphere became solemn. The mighty figure was fearless and looked at Han Huang openly. Han Huang snorted and disappeared. The mighty figures heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Han Huang was not that ruthless to his own people. The mighty figures also left one after another. The news of this battle quickly spread. All sorts of information about Shetian spread in the chaos, scattering the Second Chaotic Assembly's popularity. Even the reputation of the Eternal Peak's Zhao Shuangquan decreased, making him extremely unhappy with Shetian. 1,000,000 years later, Shetian collided with the chaos. The entire chaotic space rippled, as if the water surface was fluctuating. The 3,000 great Tao sounded at the same time and strange phenomena appeared in the myriad worlds. Shetian wasn't much smaller than the chaos. The void was the same as the chaos. After the two great Tao worlds collided, it was as if the chaos suddenly doubled in size. The mighty figures of the two worlds began to observe each other with their divine sense. Hanju was also alarmed out of seclusion, but he only took a look and then resumed cultivation. Shetian was very strong, but it was impossible for him to overturn the chaos. Thus, he naturally couldn't be bothered. After Shetian and the chaos fused, The two great Tao worlds did not disturb each other for 10,000 years. However, as low-level cultivators explored the void and involved each other's great Tao world, the two worlds broke the silence and began to negotiate. As the leader of the divine spirits, the ultimate god of punishment visited the leader of the divine spirits of Shurtian. It was unknown what agreement the two sides had reached. In the following period of time, the mighty figures of the two worlds began to enter each other's great Tao world one after another. As time passed, conflict erupted. Time passed quickly. More than 2 million years later, the living beings of the chaos were already used to Shurtian's existence. It was the same for Shurtian's life forms. Hanju opened his eyes and frowned. Detected that you are 70 million years old and your life has taken another step forward. You have the following choices. 1. Exit seclusion immediately and head to the blank domain to open the ultimate origin world. You can obtain a great Tao fragment, a primordial fragment, a creation spirit stone, and a heavenly Tao spirit stone. 2. Cultivate in a low-profile manner and maintain your original intention. You can obtain a great Tao fragment, a primordial fragment, and a creation spirit stone. You have obtained a creation heaven's chosen attempt. It's time! Hanju had been waiting for the reward to appear. He chose the first option and quickly jumped to the location of the blank domain clone to release the ultimate origin world. You chose to go to the blank domain to open the ultimate origin world and obtained a great Tao fragment, a primordial fragment, a creation spirit stone, and a heavenly Tao spirit stone. Hanju smiled. The ultimate origin world quickly expanded and covered the nearby blank domain after it was released. It was as if the darkness had suddenly devoured the paleness. The endless galaxy expanded from a small size, like a flower blooming in hell. It was beautiful and dazzling. A powerful force began to drag the ultimate origin world towards the chaos the moment it landed in the blank domain. Hanju had already expected this, so he deliberately flew extremely far. At this speed, it would take at least billions of years to hit the chaos. Hanju directly arranged for his clone to enter the ultimate origin world to prevent any Tao creators from attacking. Oh? I didn't expect a sixth Tao creator to quietly be born in the chaos. A voice suddenly sounded, resounding through the blank domain. It was like the heavenly might, vast and boundless. Hanju's main body activated all his Dharma treasures and sighed slightly. He appeared at the blank domain above the ultimate origin world, and his gaze landed in a direction. He saw a ball of black aura sweep over with unstoppable force. It was actually half the size of the ultimate origin world. Hanju didn't stand on ceremony. He was new here and could only show his strength to make the other party understand the rules. His eyes narrowed. The ultimate origin heaven seal suddenly appeared in front of the ball of black aura and suddenly expanded. In an instant, it became larger than the entire ultimate origin world and forcefully stopped the other party. Hanju used the simulation trial to detect the other party. Immeasurable destruction Venerable Shurtian, early stage Tao creator, chaotic deity, first chaos inheritor, ninth chaos personal disciple. How dare a mere early stage Tao creator act recklessly? The black aura exploded and transformed into a trillion feet tall mighty god. It was the immeasurable destruction Venerable Shurtian. He wore a flaming black robe and stepped on two sinister black dragons. On his shoulders squatted two strange bird spirits that looked like eagles. He had a face that looked like a woman's and he carried a strange smile. Immeasurable destruction Venerable Shurtian looked like a human. He had a dignified expression and a smaller ugly face between his eyebrows. It was like a ghost, sinister and ferocious. What a terrifying killing intent! This was the first time Hanju encountered such killing intent. Hanju, a chaotic fiend celestial. You became a Tao creator before turning 100 million years old. Tell me, what's your relationship with the ninth chaos? Immeasurable destruction. Venerable Shurtian stared at Hanju and asked coldly. Boundless killing intent centered on him and turned invisible and tangible, forming a blood-colored color. It covered this blank domain and also drowned the ultimate origin world. Hanju said calmly, "Are you declaring war on me?" Immeasurable destruction. Venerable Shurtian laughed. How arrogant. That's right. The power of a Tao creator is enough to make people lose themselves. Junior, do you really think you're already invincible? Hanju condensed the ultimate origin soul oblivion and 7 blades of divine punishment appeared around him. He replied calmly, "Invincibility is still far away, but it's more than enough to protect myself." The atmosphere was extremely tense. The auras of the 2 Tao creators rose steadily, causing the surrounding domain to begin tearing. Immeasurable destruction. Venerable Shurtian narrowed his eyes. He was secretly shocked. Why is this junior's aura so powerful? Immeasurable destruction. Venerable Shurtian stared at Hanju and said, "I see. No wonder you're so confident. A Tao creator can't kill another Tao creator. In that case, we'll see whose great Tao world can laugh until the end." With that, immeasurable destruction. Venerable Shurtian vanished into thin air. The blood color that covered this blank domain also vanished. Hanju didn't know what this fellow thought of, but he didn't care. In any case, he didn't care about immeasurable destruction. Venerable Shurtian. Shurtian's immeasurable destruction. Venerable has developed hatred towards you. Current hatred points, 3 stars. Hanju smiled and jumped back into the chaos, returning to the Taoist temple of the 3rd Tao field. Hanling opened his eyes and asked, "Father, where did you go earlier?" Hanju replied, "I placed my great Tao world outside the chaos." Hanling was moved and hurriedly asked, "Why? Didn't you say that it was very dangerous?" Hanju didn't hide anything and told her the truth. Hanling muttered, "Is that the power of chaos? It's trying to absorb other great Tao worlds. It seems that the difference in strength between the great Tao worlds is greater than I imagined." Hanju smiled. "That's right. The chaos will change drastically in the future. Let's wait and see." Hanling nodded and left. The chance that she had gone to spar with Han Bahen was high. Hanju took out the 9 primordial fragments and fell into deep thought. Primordial chaos, great creation. It can create cultivation techniques, create worlds, create races, and create everything. He didn't lack cultivation techniques and mystical powers now. There was no need to use them to strengthen himself. Thus, he thought of the ultimate origin world. He had to increase his great Tao world strength. Although there were more than 2,900 chaotic fiend celestials in the ultimate origin world, their growth time was inferior to Shurtian's, after all. Furthermore, other than the chaotic fiend celestials, most of the ultimate origin life forms were still being nurtured. There were no very powerful races for the time being. He might as well use the primordial chaos great creation to create a race. Hanju felt that it was feasible. He began to imagine his race. The 9 primordial fragments fused and emitted a dazzling purple light. On the other side, in the Taoist temple next door, Han Bahen waved his hand and said, "Ancestor, I'm not going. I'm really not going. What's so fun about the simulation trial? I'm not interested." Hanling frowned. "Why? Weren't you obsessed before?" Han Bahen muttered, "It was just for a moment." Bored, Hanling snorted coldly and left. She wanted to enter Hanju's Taoist temple but was blocked. She couldn't open the door no matter what she did. Guessing that her father might have something on, she went to chat with the others. In the long years, it was also a good thing to occasionally take the time to relax. It could promote one's Tao heart to a certain extent. Several years later, Hanling returned to the Taoist temple. The race created by Hanju using the primordial chaos great creation had yet to be successfully nurtured and was placed in the depths of his soul. Hanling did not ask what he was doing. Her father was always very mysterious. She couldn't see through him even though her cultivation level had already reached the limit of the chaos. Hanju didn't cultivate but read the emails. Your disciple Dao Sovereign was attacked by cultivators from Shurtian X10928763. Your disciple Zhao Xinyuan. Your son Han Tuo stepped through the void and obtained a Shurtian's treasure. He obtained the Providence of Shurtian. Your descendant Han Yao used the Blood Soul Formation Army and his cultivation increased greatly. Your good friend Divine Robe Daoist was attacked by cultivators from Shurtian X8022. Your good friend Panga was attacked by cultivators from Shurtian X62033. Your disciple Ji Xianshan has stepped into the river of time. Your disciple Yang Tiandong was attacked by the god of the netherworld and was severely injured. TSK was a full-scale battle between the Chaos and Shurtian? How interesting! Hanju looked at Hanling beside him and discovered that she was also looking at the Chaos. Hanju visited Han Yao in his dreams. Han Yao was very excited to see him. Back then, when he first became an adult, he had cultivated in front of Hanju for 10,000 years and had always treated him as the person he respected the most. After some pleasantries, Hanju explained his intentions. Come back. Prepare to assist your ancestor Hanling. Han Yao was first stunned, then immediately agreed. Hanju had already secretly told him about this plan, but after so many years, he had already dominated an area. He was naturally unhappy to submit to Hanling, but he didn't dare to disobey the progenitor. Hanju ended the dream and visited Han Yi next. Han Yi was extremely excited to see him. He would never forget his childhood master. Even after later learning that his master was the progenitor, he always treated Hanju as his master and not the progenitor. However, he didn't find a chance to talk to Hanju during the chaotic assembly. Hanju asked him about his recent encounters. Han Yi didn't hide anything from him. He was still very excited after talking for most of the day. Han Yi nodded. Han Yi was stunned. Assist Hanling? Unlike Han Yao, he was straightforward. He asked seriously, Progenitor, why? Can she be stronger than me? Hanju smiled. Spar with her after you return. This will be your greatest opportunity. The Great Tao Supreme Realm is your limit if you continue following Tao Sovereign and the others. This will be your only chance if you want to surpass the Great Tao Supreme Realm. This opportunity will far exceed your imagination. Han Yi was silent. He believed that Hanju wouldn't lie to him. He couldn't help but recall Hanling back then, that fierce woman. In the end, Han Yi agreed and decided to bid farewell to Tao Sovereign and the others. Hanju told him the location of the universe of stars. The dream shattered. Hanju opened his eyes and looked at his daughter. Lina, do you want to go out with me? Stunned, Hanling asked, why are we going out? Hanju said meaningfully, you've been observing the chaos all these years. Your cultivation has already reached the limit. Your Great Tao world will constantly evolve on its own. Seclusion is not enough if you want to reach a higher level. You already have a plan. Why hide it from me? Hanling took a deep breath and smiled. A father is a father. You can guess what your daughter wants to do. Tell me your plan. Hanju felt that it made sense. Even his Great Tao world couldn't hide in the Tao field. He had to go out, let alone the others. Hanju said, Han Yi, Han Yao, and Han Bahen will be your subordinates. Use them well. Hanling smiled. Will they listen to me? Han Bahen is fine, but the other two? Subdue them with your strength. Fight them in the simulation trial. Whoever wins will be the leader. Will this hurt their self-esteem?